Welcome into Second Down.
We had a fan going,
right
yeah,
here
sorry,
on
guys.
ESPN Radio with a Chris Collinsworth slide in to the chair. Glad to have you alongside. Cody, it is finally draft day. We have made it after just months of talking about this first round. 8 o'clock tonight. We'll get it kicked off. Pretty much know what's going to happen with picks 1 and 2. Pick 3 is where it gets really interesting tonight. My first question for you today: how ready are you for the draft to just be over? I'm not gonna lie, I was telling you this yesterday. We've reached critical mass in terms of people losing their mind about the draft. It's Justin Fields could go 32 overall. There was a guy who tweeted out yesterday, "Oh, listen, I'm coming around on it. If Kyle Pitts falls to the Steelers at 24, I think you take Kyle Pitts." Like, just those kind of tweets and those kind of stories being put out. I think the draft needed to happen like 2 weeks ago because we have reached just critical mass in terms of bad takes.
I got a question since we're going to do the draft stuff. My Broncos got Teddy Bridgewater. Can I change that trade or is it too late?
No, you can.
Okay,
you
cool.
have until 8 o'clock tonight to send me a picture of your
I am going to do it this segment, so we will know.
Don't do the mock
No, not
draft
this
while we're
segment.
on the
This
show.
show.
You can do it during 3 and out.
It's just one pick.
No, I mean,
I already got all my picks ready.
You
It's
can
just one pick.
if you're only doing one pick.
Yeah,
But wouldn't one pick then waterfall and change the rest of the draft?
Dang it, I might have to
Yeah.
rethink this a little bit.
Yeah. But Cody, go ahead and click Cam in here because we have a very important announcement on here. Cam, welcome into the show. A very happy birthday to Cam, working on his birthday. Happy birthday, Cam.
Thanks, guys. In the car, just trying to make things happen. I forgot my MacBook at home, so I'm using the phone. But thanks.
Cam, just out in the wild right now, just trying to make things happen. What are the birthday plans today? Because I know you were out with parents yesterday. You guys left me hanging yesterday, by the way, just by myself. I'm sure the people listening were just like, "Will this guy shut up?"
I had to take a personal day.
Because it was just an hour straight of me brain spewing. But we made it through it. But what are the birthday plans for today, Cam? Because I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of people out there like, "Hey, we're going out tonight. We're getting lit," and you're like, we got NFL draft at 8 o'clock.
See, that's what I'm contemplating. The fellas talking about hooping, taking the shower, going down, and eating. I'm like, man, listen, the draft is tonight. We have all weekend. I got to see what my Falcons, my Dirty Birds do with the number 4 pick. After that, I can decide what I want to do after that. That's going to determine my night.
I was saying, this is one of the most sick birthdays that I've heard. You got draft day.
No, I would hate this.
Dude, no, this would be amazing, dude. Because you know what? You get to do what you love is watch the draft and have your birthday, maybe sip some drinks.
So much responsibility comes with your birthday because your birthday is not just about you. People love celebrating your birthday, so then it becomes about them, and you're disappointing people.
You're hanging out with the wrong people, dude.
You're disappointing them if you don't go out.
Especially friends like that.
You go out after the draft and the Falcons do something wild in the first round and you're upset about it, it's just going to ruin your whole night.
Yeah, it's going to ruin if they do the wrong thing, it probably will ruin my birthday. Just select Justin Fields. No, Justin Fields. Select Justin Fields. Let's move forward, and let's have a great next decade as Atlanta Falcons.
Would Kyle Pitts ruin your birthday?
If Justin Fields is taking number 3, absolutely not. Kyle Pitts.
That's a big caveat. What if Justin Fields and Kyle Pitts are still there and they take Kyle Pitts?
Yes, I'll be very upset. I will.
Really?
Very, extremely upset. Yes. Yeah, I think we need a QB for the future. Not now, but for the future.
You need to stop all this freaking. You may not like to admit it, but this is nothing but Matt Ryan slander.
Oh no, I love that
right now.
Yeah. I love that. I do, but I'm
just
looking
towards the love Matt Ryan. It seems like you're done with Matt Ryan. That's what it sounds like to me.
I just see how other teams are. They're moving fast towards the future. Kansas City, Buffalo, the Colts did it. Another team did. It's just teams moving forward. Look at Green Bay. Jordan Love with Aaron Rodgers.
Super Bowl, dude.
I'm about to say the Colts went and got a quarterback. A lot of people are considering a bust. From
paper mache,
team.
Man. Yep.
So I mean, I'm just saying, Cam. My hot take for the draft is the fact that the Atlanta Falcons' future franchise quarterback is still in high school.
Oh man, yeah, you might be right. He might still be in high school.
On a college football field yet?
Yeah, you're right. That's dang.
Look at you, man. Look at you.
Because I think you got 3 more years of Matt Ryan.
Yeah,
Hmm,
at least
no
maybe more.
comment.
And I think
Nope.
Another contract coming. I think.
no, I don't think they're going to give him
Mhm.
another
I think
contract.
it's going to be a good another 2-year contract.
If he plays well the next couple of years, maybe, but it would not be anything like we have seen with this.
No,
last
no
year.
one there is not.
But
gonna
I think maybe you take a Kellen Mond or a Kyle Trask in the second, third round. I don't think either one of them would be available in the third round. But you take a quarterback maybe in the second round or trade back up into the second round after you make that fourth pick in the second round and take a quarterback, get Matt Ryan a backup. I think the current backup is Kurt Benkert.
Kurt Benkert.
Who-
Yep.
He's not bad. I mean, he actually played pretty well in the preseason when we saw him before he got hurt. But Matt Schaub obviously retiring. But I think the Falcons are going to take a quarterback at some point in this draft. I just don't know if it's going to be number 4 overall. Cam, that being said, we did have D. Orlando Ledbetter on yesterday, who covers the team for the AJC and probably knows what's happening with this team better than 99% of the analysts out there. And he said the Falcons are leaning quarterback, and it's just whether it's Trey Lance or Justin Fields at that number 4 spot, because apparently some of the scouts really like the upside for Trey Lance, but some of the other guys leaning Justin Fields there. So according to D-Led, it's not Kyle Pitts. That's just a lot of national media getting it wrong. It's actually going to be Justin Fields or Trey Lance. Now, that being said, a lot of the national guys who get paid the big bucks, I know Todd McShay, Mel Kiper, all these guys are projecting Kyle Pitts to go number 4 overall, even with Justin Fields still on the board. So let's just take it with a grain of salt. Listen, we are 6 hours away from finding out.
Let's go.
Now, Cody, the one thing I have seen is this, and a team that is represented on this show has been mocked to take Justin Fields by a guy we're actually having on the show today. We have Charlie Campbell coming up at 3:20. He is WalterFootball.com. He is the most accurate media analyst in terms of draft rumor accuracy in 2015, 16, 17, 18, and 20. And he led all NFL media in correct picks in 2017 and 2019 in the NFL draft. Cody, he has Justin Fields falling to the Broncos at number 9.
I
not
hope.
having to move up.
That's a
I
big
wish.
wrong.
I got Justin Fields right now. I'm on my 13th pick, and
You're doing it anyway?
Trey Lance and Justin Fields are not picked yet.
You're doing it anyway? I was like,
Mhm.
Cody, please don't do your first round mock draft while we're doing the show.
Look at me, dude.
And he's absolutely doing it.
I am double fisting it. I'm doing all right on the show right now.
Yeah, that's debatable. But again, coming up a little bit later on tonight, the Falcons will make that 4th overall pick. Cam wants him to go with Justin Fields.
Dude,
I'm kind of leaning. See, this is how I know you haven't been paying attention. Is like, you've been mock drafting. We've been talking.
no,
about
he's
this.
already said it once during this segment.
That's
I don't like this Matt Ryan slander on the show. I don't like it.
Yeah, I think Matt Ryan's your quarterback for the next couple of years. Are you really in a position right now to draft a guy who won't play for 2 years? I guess
Yes.
is the question that you're facing there. And if you ask Georgia fans, Justin Fields doesn't do very well sitting behind a quarterback anyway, and there's no transfer portal in the NFL.
Yep.
So that's something you got to deal with too. Is that going into the metrics with Trey Lance versus Justin Fields? Is like, listen, you're going to sit behind Matt Ryan for a year. We're going to be causing problems. I don't think that's the case. I would not be upset if they took Justin Fields. I'd be upset if they took Trey Lance over Justin Fields because I think Justin Fields is pretty clearly the second best quarterback in this draft. I keep hearing all this stuff about Zach Wilson. It's like he just has such an easy arm. Like that's where the point we're at in this draft process is. He's just got an easy arm. Like, what is easy arm? It looks like when he just throws it, the ball, it's just such a natural release. The ball just comes zip. It's an easy arm. So did you see the 60-yard rope that Justin Fields threw in the college football playoff? against
Laser
Clemson?
beam, son.
It's like, man, I appreciate what we're doing out there on I guess the Midwest against some of the teams that BYU is playing. But I saw Justin Fields
That's laughable,
split
man.
a couple safeties against Clemson a few times, like on a dime. So yeah, I would not hate it if they took Justin Fields, but I also think if you take Justin Fields and you pass over Kyle Pitts, who most people consider to be the second best player in this draft behind Trevor Lawrence, I think you're pretty much committing to a rebuild. You're pretty much saying we're not going to be good. Tie that in, especially if they trade Julio Jones too. I mean, D'Orlando Ledbetter said it yesterday. This is probably more of a 2023 team,
What's
which
the?
just hurts because it's just saying 2021, 2022 just ain't there.
I'm gonna look up if Pitts goes to Atlanta. I want to look up what the rookie tight end receiving yard record would be because this offense, so many ways to get open with Julio, with Gage, with Calvin Ridley, with Kyle Pitts, dude, the ball is going to be thrown amazingly everywhere. I wonder, I'm going to look that up.
I'm going to put a guess out there. I think it might be Eric Ebron.
Okay.
I might be wrong there. I think it might be Eric Ebron. I'm probably completely wrong. But I think it's him. But again,
Mike Ditka, the man.
Mike Ditka.
1,076 yards, 1961. The record is still standing.
I did not think we were going to have a Mike Ditka reference on the show today.
Is Pitts going to beat legendary Ditka this year? Do you think he would?
Probably.
Dude.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
What are some of the names after that?
Let's see. But dude,
is Eric Ebron even like the top 10?
Let's see. We're going up. A Ditka, 1.1K. Shockey, 894. Jackson, 869. Young, 854. Mackey, in the 60s.
The Mackey Award.
Got some 60s.
That's
Yep.
the Mackey Award.
726 and Ingram in 2017.
Ingram, that's what I was thinking of. Not Eric Ebron.
722.
Ingram, yes.
So yes, but Jeremy Shockey up there.
Well, Jeremy Shockey was that dude. Was that when he was with the Saints? Was he
2001. Giants.
Oh, he got drafted by the Giants and then went to the Saints. That's it's almost been 20 years.
Dude, Pitts has a chance to beat.
He needs 1,100 yards to beat Ditka.
Dude,
I think if you put him in the Falcons offense, that
that's what I'm saying.
Pretty easily happens. Matt Ryan not afraid to force feed somebody, and especially if you trade Julio. Holy cow!
Oh yeah. Oh, dude.
Sure.
I don't think that's gonna happen this year, but man,
I do.
This year?
Yeah. Apparently
after June?
Apparently the rumors are out there right now that it might happen this week. That they
can't do it till June.
The Packers, right? Patriots, no, they can. It's just they shouldn't.
Oh.
They can trade him. They just shouldn't, because then you have to sit on a ton of dead money this year. But apparently the rumors are out there. They're going to try to do it this week. The Titans are another team that are in the Julio Jones sweepstakes, apparently.
Whoa.
Yeah. So I would love to see if we can get a first rounder. You got to get at least a first rounder for me.
Poor Trevor Lawrence if that happens already, dude. That's like, oh my, jeez. Like,
you got to take on the Titans.
Great.
Indy, and then the Titans just added who? Julio Jones.
Yeah, if not the best receiver in the past 6 years.
Agreed. I think he's probably still top 2, top 3 in the NFL right now, even with everyone saying how hurt he was last year. I still think a lot of that had to do with the fact that the Atlanta Falcons were bad. And
physical ability, yeah.
If the Falcons are in the race that year, just for the playoffs,
he's playing.
Wild card, he's in those games.
Yeah, he's playing.
And just from what we saw. But again, Falcons coming up, 4th overall pick tonight. Do they stay there? If they do, is it quarterback? Is it tight end? Who do they take at number 4? Do they get some sort of amazing package to fall back in the draft, let somebody else come up and draft their quarterback? Apparently, the New Orleans Saints are a team that's very interested in getting inside the top 10.
I don't think all the way up there, though.
You know my rule. You don't trade inside your division.
Yep.
You don't do it. You don't let other people inside your division get better, especially if New Orleans is trying to trade up to get their future franchise quarterback. No, absolutely not.
Also coming out on the rumor mill today, I was watching the Pat McAfee show. The Raiders are actually now thinking about a quarterback. So
wow,
look into that.
That's the most up and down toxic relationship ever. Is
that's toxic.
Yes,
out there, the Oakland quarterback. I mean, you have old John Gruden on Hard Knocks. Like, hey, I love Derek Carr. I love what he can do, man. He brings a whole lot to this offense, man.
And every year,
he's a smart quarterback, man. And then it's like, oh, he's on the trading block, or they're trying to bring in another quarterback, or they just signed Marcus Mariota. And poor Derek Carr.
It's the yearly Raiders quarterback or no?
Yeah, I love that guy, man.
Yep,
make a lot of great plays out there. Can we get another quarterback in here, man?
Hey, man. Hey, man.
So we'll find out all sorts of madness. I'm sure something crazy is going to happen, blow up all of our mock drafts, and I can't wait to see what it is. We got more to come here on Second Down. The Braves got a huge 10-0 win last night over the Chicago Cubs. Waskar, Enoa, excuse me, I got surprised by Cody's big woo there. I didn't know he was such a Falcons fan. Enoa with an unbelievable performance. Yeah. I mean, I thought you were a Rockies fan. Huge.
Not this year.
Huge Braves fan, apparently. Cody Queen over there. We'll dive into it when we come back right here on Second Down on ESPN Radio. It is draft day here on ESPN Radio. Christian Gokel alongside Cody Queen and Cam Ershby. Glad to have you alongside. We'll catch up with Charlie Campbell from WalterFootball.com coming up at 3:20. He's going to break down his picks. He actually just put out his latest mock draft. He has Kyle Pitts going to the Atlanta Falcons at 4 overall. Justin Fields falling to the Denver Broncos at 9. So we'll catch up with Charlie Campbell, the most accurate draft prognosticator out there, coming up at 3:20. Also going to catch up with Brooks Austin from Dogs Daily on SI.com. Where are Georgia players projected to go in this draft? What kind of players are they going to bring to their respective city? I think it's going to be a really interesting conversation around Azeez Ojulari because Charlie Campbell does not have him going in the first round, where a lot of people have him as the second, third best edge rusher in the draft. I think he'll be a late 20s pick, but maybe just not a fit with some of the teams as they go, so he could maybe still be there. How wild would that be if he's there for the Falcons coming up in the second round? So we'll dive into that coming up at 4:20. He's also going to give us a look at Kyle Pitts and Justin Fields from his film breakdown. And then 5 o'clock, we'll catch up with the head football coach of Savannah State, Sean Quinn. They have a golf tournament coming up in May to support the football team. We'll get his thoughts on the draft coming up a little bit later tonight. But guys, last night, Cam, we've been talking about it for a couple weeks now. Braves just need to get back to 500. Well, they finally have done it. The Braves 12-12 on the season. They take down the Chicago Cubs 10-0 last night, and it was a Huascar Ynoa show. 5 1/3 inning pitched, 4 hits, 0 earned runs, and a career-high 9 strikeouts for Ynoa there. But more impressively, Cam, maybe 2 for 3 at the plate with 2 runs, including a home run. The Braves had 5 total home runs last night, but, I mean, when you get a home run out of your starting pitcher, that's just got to be a great feeling for everybody out there. And it really seemed like, Cam, we've been talking about this for a while, this Braves team, more so I think than any other team in baseball, just become elite when they're having fun. And so you have your pitcher going yard. You have a total of 5 guys exiting the ballpark there. And at the same time, it's maybe not a great stat for the Braves, but it was still fun and funny. It's 10-0. The Cubs let Anthony Rizzo come into pitch. He walks Ronald Acuna right off the jump, but then Freddie Freeman comes up to bat, and if you didn't see it a couple weeks ago when the Braves were actually in Chicago, Freddie Freeman kind of got caught in a pickle between third base and second, and Anthony Rizzo was chasing him down with the ball. He's going, Frederick! Freddie! And so these guys have a great relationship. Well, Anthony Rizzo comes up to pitch, and he's, throwing those 50-mile-an-hour heaters up there. And so Freddie Freeman, I think, was trying to take him deep because he whiffed on a couple, including a 69-mile-an-hour. They're calling it a fastball, but it was so slow that it kind of looked like a curveball on the outside corner. So he struck Freddie Freeman. Literally, Anthony Rizzo, a position player for the Cubs, a great player, but a position player for the club, struck out the reigning NL MVP. I mean, that's just got to be something. You get that ball, you make a plaque, you put it up in your house, you talk about it for the rest of your life. Freddie Freeman on the flip side, you can never live that down. But just moral of the story, Cam, a fun night for the Braves, and you really saw some of the guys. Ozzie Albies went deep. Marcell Ozuna went deep. Freddie Freeman went deep. I mean, you had 5 home runs, and Ronald Acuna wasn't one of them. Just a good night. The Braves having fun out there, and I think that's when this team is at their most dangerous.
Yeah, I see when I don't predict the Braves winning, they go 3-0. So, maybe I need to just stop predicting that. But on the serious note, I love the Braves when they're happy, having fun. You don't see that in all the sports, not just baseball. It's hard to find good team camaraderie. And then, 2, Braves fans can relax now. They're first in the division, 12-12. After starting off 0-4, they're looking good. They're in prime position to just keep that at a steady pace. It's a long season. But you got to be happy about this, going 3-0, getting back to 500.
Yeah, the Braves have won 6 out of the last 10. Again, now 500 on the season. One more game coming up with the Cubs tonight. So if you get the 4-game sweep at the Cubs at home, Cody, and all of a sudden your game over 500 going into your next series, I think it'll just be massive before you head down to Florida to take on Toronto. I mean, that sentence doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but that's just where we're at right now with Toronto currently playing out of their spring training facility in Florida just because of the COVID restrictions at the border with Canada.
Yeah.
Teams couldn't be going back and forth to Toronto. So, Blue Jays playing out of a spring training site with a grand total of, I think max capacity at that stadium's like 5,500 is the most you can put in there. But you got to go see Toronto. Vlad Guerrero Jr.'s been on fire lately, but it's just good. And it feels like for the first time this season, Cody, there's just some sort of momentum around the team, and they're finally having fun. You had a great pitching performance last night, matched up with a great offensive performance. And like I said, more so than I think any other team, when this team starts rolling and they start having fun, I think they become one of the most dangerous teams in Major League Baseball.
I know we can't bring it up. You say they're having fun. Kevin Thomas says they're having fun. Ursary says they're having fun. It's not just about having fun, dude. They're connecting with the ball. The pitching's gotten immensely better already. The outfield seems like it's like everybody's saying, they are having fun out there.
Oh yeah, the selfie after the win is just the best, where you have Marcel run over and whoever's playing center field and Ronald Acuna, they sort of get down for the big old Marcel selfie.
Baby.
Yeah, I mean, it's great. Like I said, it's just that I think adds up, and you have to have stuff like that throughout a 162 game season because it's just such a grind all the time. But when that team, like I said, when they start rolling, they start having fun. Probably the most dangerous team in baseball outside of
most unique too when they do.
Yeah, I'd say outside of the Dodgers, I just think the Dodgers anytime they roll out there are the most dangerous team in baseball.
Yeah, don't remind
period.
me,
That team is a machine. But in terms of fun, I think the Braves are right up there with anybody. But again, how about Huascar Ynoa? I mean, outside of the amazing hitting performance, you get another great start. I think that's 3 out of 4 starts for him this season where he's been really a good pitcher for you. And I guess the only complaint you can have is that the pitch count gets up there a little bit and he gets a little bit tired. Like you were hoping he could get through 6 last night, but he comes out there in the bottom of the 6th or the top of the 6th, excuse me, and you get one guy out, and then the location kind of goes for him, and the pitch count I think getting near 100 there. So that's really the only complaint. But still, you're going 5 1/3 innings. You didn't give up a run, only gave up 4 hits, and you fanned 9 guys. It's a really good performance from him.
What a real boy is that?
Violating the civil rights of jail detainees. Several inmates accused him of leaving them for long periods of time in a restraining chair last year.
Goddamn. Right? That's the best shit ever. Hold my pocket.
Yesterday that all seats will be available for fans in Truist Park beginning.
Like, dude, I want to hold nobody's pocket, dude. What are you in here for? What'd you steal? Back! Back!
This is GNN, the Georgia News Network.
Only T-Mobile for Business uses unconventional thinking to help businesses realize new possibilities, like our WFX solutions, enabled by our nationwide.
It's something like the hardest. I guess what we were laughing at when we were driving home was he talks about like his wife telling him that diarrhea is not normal. He's like, yeah, I usually just sit down and say, and just and a wife. And he's like, sometimes it's got blood in it.
She has her keys in her hand. She goes, "You need me to drive you to the hospital."
Like sometimes I just paint the back in the toilet bowl. That's not normal.
It's too deep to take you
$10,000 more in back taxes are you being audited? Investigate as the IRS sent you a letter demanding payment you may not owe what they claim. Make this free call to the tax doctor now. Let them negotiate with the IRS IRS on your behalf. Call 800-631-9123, 800-631-9123. That's 800-631-9123.
Part of the interruption for construction at Walker Jones Chevrolet GMC Cadillac Buick. We're growing to serve you better, but that won't stop us from saving you up to $10,000 on your next new truck. That's right, $10,000 off on 20 and 21 Chevy Silverado or GMC Sierra trucks in stock, or choose up to 20% off every 20 or 21 Chevy in stock. And Cadillacs are at 0%. Plus, we'll take care of you like good friends and neighbors should. GMC. We are professional grade. Walker Jones Chevy GMC Cadillac Buick.
Something don't feel right about this, Sergeant.
Something
don't feel right about this mission, man.
We all gotta die sometime, man.
Walker Jones. Get the best deal from Walker Jones.
Hi, everyone. Our Thursday forecast is going to be mostly sunny. The warm-up has been a fast one. Highs today have been stretching
he's talking
into
about
the
high in
low
reality.
80s. For a few high clouds and a slim chance of a shower to the afternoon. Temperatures can stay about the same.
Well,
Saturday mostly
the 7 of
sunny.
y'all
Skies
here,
will be
one of
breezy
me.
and cooler.
And
Highs
nobody
will be
gonna
in
know.
the 70s. I'm Georgia
And I was like
meteorologist
standing
Laura
there.
Huckabee in the
I
direct
shit on
811
all of
weather center. Contact 811 before you do.
Toucans, the Golden Isles home for
Damn,
Dwight
Tom
Food,
Berenger, you're
beer, and
fucking
a
cool,
whole
man.
lot of fun is open with seating in the dining room
He's
and
asking
outside
that,
on the
huh?
deck.
Like beats that dude's ass in the hut when he tries to
All of
attack
our
him.
employees are masked and gloved in accordance with recommendations, and we're taking every precaution to provide you a happy, healthy, and exceptionally clean environment to
That's a
enjoy
lie.
all of your
You
Toucans
lie.
favorites. So what are you waiting for? Toucans Ale House, Perry Lane Road in Brunswick.
Hi, I'm Doug Harris. Come see us at Toucans. The fun starts here.
Christian Gokel alongside Cody Queen here on Second Down. We are, of course, presented to you by the Uniform Source. Glad you're hanging out with us on this Thursday afternoon as we are just a few hours away from the first round of the NFL Draft. Trevor Lawrence locked in number one. I think they're already popping the champagne down there in Duval, Cody, but Zach Wilson looking like number two. Number three is where the draft starts tonight. A lot of people projecting Mac Jones going number 3 to the 49ers. A lot of folks looking at Trey Lance, but all of a sudden, just of course on draft day, the push has started again where people think maybe it's all a smoke screen. Maybe it's all a smoke screen. They're probably taking Justin Fields, number 3 overall. So just, we're going to find out tonight, to the relief of many out there, what they're going to do and then what the Falcons do, Cody. But I got a question for you about Trevor Lawrence. Do you feel like, because this is the expectation right now, is Trevor Lawrence a franchise changer for Jacksonville?
No, because it's Jacksonville.
I was going to say, is that because of Trevor Lawrence as a player, or is that just because of the franchise
Just
itself?
because of the franchise. It sucks he's going there. It sucks. Whatever. Like, you got some of these weird, rare teams that will pick number one, and then they have like good coach and stuff like that, like the Colts did with Andrew Luck and all that stuff. This isn't one of them situations. It's not one of them situations. It's a historically bad team. It's gonna, hopefully he does well. Hopefully he does really well. And the only thing, the way out of it, dude, you play well enough. You don't want to stay there, and you get the old LeBron free agency type of thing and go where you want, but just play as hard as you can. I don't think it's going to be a winning organization wise there, but I do think he's going to do well.
That is the, I guess, history you're going up against if you're a Jaguars fan, is you're saying, listen, I know we've been a bad franchise for our entire history. They did have the 1 year where you go to the AFC Championship game and should have won that game if it wasn't for some bad officiating and gone to the Super Bowl. But again, a lot of bad franchises can catch fire for 1 year and make it to a Super Bowl. We've seen it time and time again. I would not call the Atlanta Falcons a good franchise. I mean, you've had 3 straight losing seasons, but if you catch fire for one season, you can go to the Super Bowl. Like, no questions asked. So the Jags, basically, you're asking Trevor Lawrence to buck an entire history of a franchise that has just been bad, I think it's a starting point. I absolutely do. I think Urban Meyer, if he leans on some of his coaches, but also can instill some of his offensive philosophies, because he's, in my opinion, easily one of the top 10 football minds in the world.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I mean, college or pros, right? He's one of the top 10 football minds in the world. I think he's a great coach, but he's going to have to lean, especially when it comes to personnel decisions, because he was talking about drafting and how when you're recruiting somebody in college, it's all vertical, right?
Yep.
You're going after who you identify as a great player. You go after him. It doesn't matter about personality, fit. That's lower on the tier list. It's just, I want to get the best offensive lineman I can. I want to get the best running back I can. I want to get the best linebacker I can. And probably if you're Ohio State, you're getting out of the top 200, you're getting 15 to 20 of those players every year, right? You're not doing that in pro football.
Completely different game,
right?
boy.
You're getting roughly half of the top 200 of that. So you get like 7 to 8 of the top 200 players coming up in the draft. But more so than that, all of a sudden you have something called positional value, where this is where he said it went from just being vertical to now it's vertical and horizontal. He's having to play 4D chess now, right?
Yep.
Where it's, I want the running back. Like, this guy's clearly great. He's a better prospect than that lineman, but then the pro scouts are telling him he may be better than this guy for 4 years. But when you look at career arc, when you get to year 5, that offensive lineman career arc is going to surpass his career arc. And then all of a sudden in year 5, 6, 7, 8, we still have a great offensive lineman where that running back's probably still not in the NFL. Like, that's what Urban Meyer is having to learn right now, which is, I don't just have a guy for 3 or 4 years. These top 2-3 rounds have ramifications for 6, 7, 8 years. And so that's what he's having to learn. But I do think he surrounded himself with some good talent, especially on the coaching side. I couldn't really tell you too much about some of the personnel guys that they have, but on the coaching side, I think he surrounded himself with some good talent. And so that, on top of the fact that Trevor Lawrence, I know a lot of people got upset about it, where he said, I don't have to be an underdog. I never have been, and I don't have to do that in my mind. I think that's going to help the Jaguars as well, where that's the mentality is, we don't have to be the underdog if we're good. We don't have to be the clucky upstarts if we're good. I'm Trevor Lawrence. I come from Clemson, where we did nothing but win. I come from a high school where I set every single passing record in the state of Georgia, which has put out some pretty damn good quarterbacks. I don't have to be the underdog. And so I think that mentality alongside Urban Meyer, and even if it's not Urban Meyer, because coaches in the NFL flip more than quarterbacks, right? This is Matt Ryan. This is going to be Matt Ryan's 3rd head coach since he's been. Mike Smith, Dan Quinn, and now Arthur Smith, right? This will be Matt Ryan's 3rd. Listen, if you're a good quarterback, you're probably going to see more than one head coach during your tenure, right? I think Trevor Lawrence is good enough if you can start flipping some of the personnel stuff. Like, Cody, if you have Trevor Lawrence in year 4 instead of having Blake Bortles in year 4 with that defense that goes to the AFC Championship,
Super Bowl.
It's a different story, right? So I think Trevor Lawrence is a franchise changer. I think he can be a guy down there where people are going to want to play with him. You're going to have more butts in the stands, and so there's going to be more money peripherally to improve your franchise as well. So yeah, I absolutely think he's a franchise changer. But that being said, first round coming up tonight.
I got all my stuff ready.
I need to know, Cody, just tell me what you've updated. Let's just do this. Let's just go back through picks 1 through 10.
I can just go real quick, yeah.
No, I don't need all 32 because people are going to fall asleep in their car and crash, and we don't need that. I just need 1 through 10, and then what we're going to do is keep track of the rest, and we're going to see who is the most accurate out of everyone, just for bragging rights in here. And you have a history in these types of competitions, not just in draft stuff, but just in these type of competitions of winning. So
I'm pretty good at draft.
Yeah, so we'll let you put out your 1 through 10 again, Cody, and we'll get it for tonight. Go ahead.
Number 1 overall, Jacksonville Jaguars pick Trevor Lawrence. Shocker.
Yep.
Number 2, Wilson. Number 3,
this is where it starts. This is where it starts. Yeah.
Mac Jones goes, and now that the Broncos got my boy Teddy Bridgewater, they will not be trading with the Falcons. Falcons will be getting Pitts, which is the best player available. That's when the draft pretty much starts. People say number 3, okay, it's going to be one of 2 guys. So it's not that big of a thing. So the draft really starts to me at 4 with the Atlanta Falcons. perfect scenario, they trade back, get some first rounders, go to the future. So when they do need a quarterback, say 2 years from now, they have 2 first-round picks 2 years from now, and maybe try to get like that. But I'm doing no trades, just like you were saying. Going Penei Sewell going to the Bengals.
Jamar Chase has made apparently a strong push
From
for
what
that
I hear,
5
yeah.
spot. A lot of people are saying, do you go get the guy to protect Joe Burrow, or do you get him his top receiver?
See that scar on his right knee? Yeah, you need to get someone to protect
You ain't
him.
lying.
Jamar Chase going Dolphins is going to be a great pickup for Tua. If Tua can't get it done this year with some weapons that they're going to put around him, they might be drafting quarterback next year. So going Detroit Lions, Devontae Smith. I still feel like Devontae Smith's sliding too much. I still feel like these NFL teams are still looking at him that he's one of the best prospects over his friend Jalen Waddle. I feel like Devontae Smith's going to the Lions to try to help them out there. Carolina Panthers, Jalen Waddle. Going Jalen Waddle with them, trying to help out the redhead out there. They're going to go out there. That's only if Penei Sewell does get taken by the Bengals. If the Bengals do not take Penei Sewell, I feel like Penei Sewell might go down to the Panthers, and the Panthers might get
Panthers
him.
need weapons, man.
Yes,
Like,
it doesn't matter who they get.
They
Yeah,
have Christian McCaffrey and they have DJ Moore, but they need weapons.
yeah, and they just picked up DJ Moore's 5th-year option.
Yeah.
So, and the Denver
I know they
Broncos.
got Robbie Anderson down there now too, but outside of
Yes,
that,
they do,
But
yeah.
outside of that, I mean, you need weapons.
And the only reason why they're getting this guy right here, the Denver Broncos, Justin Fields, slides all the way down to 9. Why not take him? You got 3 quarterbacks that you could think to go, and that's literally all they're missing is a quarterback on that team. Everybody's saying that. Every single analyst that I watch is all they're missing. So you got 3 of them. Which one's the best? You play him. If it doesn't do what you need to do, Vic Fangio has another year on his job because he tried his
It's a great
hardest.
football name.
Had
I'm sorry, I'm listening to your breakdown.
great defensive
But-
mind
But I
too
mean,
from the Bears.
Vic Fangio, just a great football name. Cody, your team has a general manager named George Patton.
General George Patton. Yes, sir.
In my mind, the Denver Broncos like dug up the grave of George Patton, and they just have his coffin
I'm running through the
in-
wall for that
in-
guy.
in the GM seat, and they're just like, "This is our general manager now."
I'm running through the wall to anybody named Patton. But Fields goes to the Broncos, try to get them back on track with guys like Justin Herbert in the
Levitar
division.
Like, put it on the
And,
poll. Would you run through the wall for anybody named Patton?
I would, 100, especially with the first name George. Duh. And number 10, Dallas Cowboys, Patrick Surtain, quarterback out of Alabama. Try to get that defense back on track. Ever
That's
since
good.
they got rid of Byron Jones, with that 1 year, he was number 1 in PFF. That's it. That's the only year that he was pretty much good. But they've had a real downhill
Yeah.
slope on corners after that.
All right.
So
I've changed my top 10 some because I think you got to risk it for the biscuit here.
Oh,
And I
okay.
think this is going to get wild. I'll start at 3 because we all know what 1 and 2 are. Number 3, I think the 49ers are going to take
Was that a Limp Biscuit reference?
risk it for the biscuit. I don't think so.
Okay.
I think that's just a colloquialism. Like, I don't think
I don't know what that means. You're making way too
I
big
just think
words
it's
for
a
me.
saying. I just
Okay.
think it's a saying. Cam's the most recent college grad we have here, so he could tell you what
It's
it means.
true.
But no, I think they go Trey Lance. I don't think you spend all that draft capital to move up and draft Mac Jones. I think you move up that far. to
Mac
get-
Jones slander.
I love Mac Jones.
National champion.
Like, if you listen back to 3 and Out before last year, it was a whole lot of when's Bryce Young going to be the starting quarterback for Bama, and I was like, you guys need to chill out and put some respect on Matt Jones' name because he played well in the Iron Bowl and he played well against Michigan in their bowl game before last year. I want to be very careful when I say this, but it had a Joe Burrow-esque arc, right? Where the end of Joe Burrow's junior year, you started seeing it and you're like, oh, okay, this could be something. And then the next year you were like, boom, blown out of the water. So, I mean, and if you want to look at the stats, eerily similar. He had a better, I believe, he had a better efficiency rating than Joe Burrow. So that's putting all that out there. I think Trey Lance goes number 3 overall. Number 4, I think the Falcons take Kyle Pitts. I think the fact that, number 1, he's the best position player in the draft, like best player, not a quarterback in the draft. And I think he's better than a majority of the quarterbacks
I think he's the best player in the
just as
draft.
a player. I think him and Trevor Lawrence, you can make an argument, one, two
Close.
for those guys, right? And add that to the fact that Matt Ryan is going to be your quarterback for the next 2 years. I think you just go get the best player, and I think that you're off to a good start drafting if you're Terry Fontenot and Arthur Smith. So,
And am I right or wrong? He is pretty good at blocking on the line.
yeah,
too.
we had a caller yesterday on 3,
Yeah.
and I was like, why are you going to draft this guy who's a 240-pound tight end who can't block? Ask Azeez Ojulari about him not blocking, because there's a clip of Azeez Ojulari getting pancaked, and also him just eating alive a couple other Georgia defenders blocking as well. But also at the same time, Kevin, I think, worded it best. Even if he couldn't block, Who cares? Just watch what he can do when you get the ball in his hands. That's what you care about. But also, you just signed Lee Smith. You have Hayden Hurst. You don't inherently need him to block. You just need him to go in the slot, or if you trade Julio, maybe even go to the X and play on the outside for you as well. So it's just, I think they take Kyle Pitts, and I think it's a great pick. Number 5, I'm going to go Jamar Chase. I think it's a really deep offensive line class, and the Cincinnati Bengals have an early pick in the second round. I think you value Jamar Chase. I think he's probably the 4th or 5th best prospect in this draft, whereas Penei Sewell, his stock started to fall a little bit, especially after he got his measurements. I mean, he's still like a top 10 prospect, but he's not a top 5 prospect. I think Jamar Chase is a top 5 prospect. I think the Bengals go get him.
Wait, you think the offensive line is a deeper positional group in this draft than wide receiver?
I think the middle of the offensive line group is closer in talent to the top of the offensive line group than the middle of the wide receiver group is the top. Like Elijah Moore, Elijah Moore could be is probably going to be a first round pick tonight out of Ole Miss.
Yeah, I got him going.
He's probably going to be a first round pick.
I got Marshall Jr. 31st.
I don't think he's close to Jamar Chase. So I think Jamar Chase goes number 5 as I try to get my doc back open here. Here we go. Number 6, I've got the Dolphins taking Jalen Waddle. Since Jamar Chase goes off the board. Listen, I know I love Devonta Smith. I don't think he wins the Heisman last year if Jalen Waddle doesn't get hurt, because all of a sudden he became the focal point on that Alabama offense. I will never be able to get out of my mind in the 2018 SEC championship game. Georgia was playing out of their minds. You were the chess match of Kirby Smart and Dan Lanning versus Steve Sarkisian. Kirby Smart was absolutely working Steve Sarkisian, but it was just, you have to be perfect against a guy like Jalen Waddle. He caught like a 15-yard crossing route and absolutely burned Richard LeCounte and J.R. Reed. Like, they had the angle, and he smoked past them on the sideline. He is as close to Tyreek Hill as I think you're going to get out of a wide receiver in this draft, and he's bigger than Tyreek Hill. And he's got that kind of speed. I mean, if Devonta Smith is the Slim Reaper, this guy's thick. He's a bowling ball. So, yeah, Jalen Waddle to the Dolphins. I think Penei Sewell then goes to the Detroit Lions. They do need a pass catcher, maybe Devonta Smith, but I think he's a hell of a offensive lineman. You have Mr. Dan Campbell. I'm going to eat your kneecaps. Sitting there as
Lions eat everything. So if Sewell goes there,
he's the best player available, right? Best player available. Carolina, Devonta Smith. I have Devonta Smith going to Carolina. He's an unbelievable talent. Give Sam Darnold another person to throw to. Now, that is 2 very similar style of wide receivers, Robbie Anderson and Devonta Smith, but I just think you add talent in today's NFL, that's fine. Number 9 overall, Justin Fields.
Let's go, baby!
The Broncos can't pass on Justin Fields. And then number 10, take your pick, J.C. Horn, Patrick Surtain.
Yeah.
I think J.C. Horn has just been one of like the darlings of the draft. A lot of people have fallen in love with him. But that being said, I think Dallas Cowboys stick with Patrick Surtain there at number 10. So that's my 1 through 10. I think we lost connection with Cam. Probably just too busy partying on his birthday. We got to take a quick break here. We'll come back. Final segment of Second Down next. Welcome back into Second Down right here on ESPN Radio as one Kevin Thomas comes strutting into the studio. I don't think you could describe that walk as anything but strutting.
You peacocking me, dude?
Yeah, I think he was. I think he was with that purple shirt on. But I know Kevin's amped up for the draft tonight. But Cody, it won't be tonight. But I am excited to see Richard LeCount get drafted. A good friend of the show. A great player out of Southeast Georgia. Really looking forward to seeing him get drafted. I think somebody's going to get a steal. I know you weren't on yesterday, but we had D'Orlando Ledbetter on, and he mocked Richard LeCount going to the Falcons in the 5th round, which I think would be an absolute steal for the Atlanta Falcons. Still, don't think he was all the way recovered from his motorcycle accident when he ran that 40. I've watched that dude play and go sideline to sideline in the SEC. He's faster than a 4.8. Some people just don't have great 40 times, just don't run great in underwear. He runs great with pads on and a helmet on. He'll smack you in the mouth. And so I'm really excited to see him get drafted. I know last year, just talking to DJ Dallas through his whole draft process, that was really cool to see. Always cool to see local guys. I know Tracy Walker, another one who got drafted. Always cool to see local guys get drafted and extend their career. But again, that's coming up tonight at 8 o'clock. We'll have full coverage for you for the Atlanta Braves as they take on the Chicago Cubs coming up tonight. Pregame following 3 and Out a little bit later in the show today. Really excited to see if the Braves can get that 4-game sweep, Cody, get a game above 500. That way, when we come back tomorrow, Kevin can just rub it right in BJ's face that because beginning of the week, BJ's like, listen, you can't rely on winning 4 games in a row for the Cubs against the Cubs to get back to 500. Well, it looks like the Braves might actually do that. You got Bryce Wilson on the mound tonight, the Kentucky Waterfall, the Tennessee Mudflap, the Mullet on the mound tonight for the Atlanta Braves. We'll have full play-by-play coming up for you tonight on that. But Ben Troop, Kevin Thomas coming up next on 3 and Out. Coming up at 3:15, we will catch up with Charlie Campbell from WalterFootball.com.